appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Dion's Daily Dose. Today, we have a really, really interesting set of guests. They are local ghost hunters. Yes, paranormal investigators, ghost hunters, whatever you want to call it. How cool is that? I mean, I've seen some weird stuff, but when I was a kid, I'm not going to go into it, but some weird stuff has happened in LaPorte County, and finally, we have some professionals that are looking into it. So without further ado, I'm going to bring them on, let them introduce themselves, and then we'll get into the fun stuff. There we go. Welcome.
Hey, what's going on, Dion?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're good, man. No worries. So Rob and Chey, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Chey, obviously Chey, Rob.
Yeah, well, hey man, it's 2024, you can be whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, pineapple on a cushion seat, who knows? It doesn't matter these days.
Right.
Precisely. I just got to say, first off, your intro song, all day, that's all I listen to is Tom McDonald at work. And if you've not heard his new song, God Mode, you've got to hear it.
It's funny you mention that. My son actually called me from work, and he's like, have you heard Tom's new song? And I'm like, relax. Yeah, I did. He's like, I don't know who made him mad, but he is on it. That was actually mad. Yeah,
Everyone's making him mad.
That was actually the first concert I ever went to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I went and I took my son and his two friends, and we went down to Nashville, and we got an opportunity. I will say this, Tom, as far as like artists go, super, super cool. He hung out with us after, signed whatever we wanted to sign. He took a picture with the back of my truck. I mean, he did whatever we wanted. Very, very cool, very laid back. He was obviously exhausted. He's on the road. And he was just, so I have to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah. And you gotta give it to him. He's independent, no record labels. So he's able to take that time to give it to his fans rather than go, well, I'm on a schedule here, and my record label says you get to spend 2 seconds to say hi and get the hell out and get your next show. So that's awesome. I would love to meet him. He is absolutely, his music is incredible.
I've been paying attention to see if he has any other, concert dates, but so far he hasn't posted any. I hope that he chooses to go on the road again.
Yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out for that as well. That would be
yeah. Check his website. That's the best place to go. Hangover Gang. I think it's hangovergang.com. Hangovergang.com. I think. I always get mixed up if it's .com, .biz, .tv, so many dots now. But okay. So you two are you like, is this your full-time job now, investigating this, or is this a hobby? Is this like something you're looking to make full-time?
Well, so one, it's not a full-time job. For me, full-time content creating was a thing back during the whole first year of COVID. But then I went back to work, and now content creating is more of not the back burner, but it's definitely more of a hobby. Okay. I do spend a lot more time on this to try and just it's what I went to after I became sober from being an alcoholic. But as far as paranormal investigations,
it's just a hobby.
Yeah, I mean,
a fun hobby.
It's something that we both love. And we both kind of add a little bit of finances to invest into it and get some of the professional equipment. And so
I was actually going to say, I saw, I watched the trailer for Hillbish, and then I watched the full video, and I was, for what it's worth, I was actually really, really pleasantly surprised at the quality of the equipment that you have. Everything was very well done.
I appreciate it. I'm self-taught on video editing. And I am still learning video editing. I'm not a professional at it. I'm not a master at it, but
learning overall.
She does a lot of the back end research for our 2 locations we've done. We are still on the hunt for our 3rd location.
Okay.
No bites yet, but
fair enough. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. When we were communicating via email, you mentioned that you're not really getting the level of reception that you were hoping for some places. Like some people seem to mock the I guess hunt for cryptids, paranormal activity, etc.
Yes, definitely.
It's because they just don't understand. So they mock, they don't understand.
Right.
Instead of doing their own little research into it, they're just going to make fun of it because they don't want to put the work in.
Yeah, and I think it's along with not wanting to put the work in, but also it's easier to go, ha ha ha, paranormal doesn't exist, or like cryptids don't exist, or aliens don't exist. I don't apologize, but in a way, I'm not trying to say I'm sorry, but we're not the only things living in this vast universe. There's absolutely no way. And when we spend our entire life on this earth, and especially our first location, the couple that lived there for almost 60 years. You're telling me our energy does not stay in that place and either become residual or become something that's an active environment of energy. I don't believe that we die and it's just poof. That's it. We didn't put all of our life and energy into one place for 60 years and there's nothing. I believe there's something beyond the realm of just a physical, physical being, I guess what I'm trying to say.
No, I completely understand. And I agree because it seems like every time we turn around, another scientist from another place is saying, oh, look at the new thing we discovered. Look at the new thing we discovered. Whether it's fossils, unexpected locations or unexpected creatures. There's absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt in my mind, a practically infinite number of things about our world that we don't understand.
Yeah.
Not only creatures, but entities and powers and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially for me to hear Christians mock it, is almost a personal affront because at the base level, God, by his very definition, is extraterrestrial.
Yeah, so, and if you dive deep into that, it becomes an extraterrestrial where it's a being from the sky, and you see hieroglyphs and paintings from, years ago where it depicts something, and a lot of the time something saucer-like with a light beaming down from it. I mean, I can't say for sure that, it's absolutely, something ET, but it's just, we can't be the only things out here. There's just what?
Because we're not.
No, they're not. I mean, so to put it in perspective, which blows my mind every time, we have explored more vast areas of space than we have explored our own oceans.
Yes.
Something that's right here on Earth. We haven't explored any of it really compared to what's above us. And it's just that blows my mind because I feel like we have the equipment to explore something where there's no gravity. It's the pressure is absolutely immense. We can't go down below our feet though. Mm-hmm. But also we saw what happened to the game controller Subnautica that went to Titanic and blew up.
Yeah. It's interesting though. I actually just saw a story that a friend of mine sent to me about scientists recently discovering essentially underground oceans. Did you see that?
I've heard about them, and there is a huge.
But they proved it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a huge conspiracy around the whole Earth inside our Earth story.
Yeah.
And, back in World War II, there was a fighter pilot that was returning back home, and he was sucked into the center of the Earth, going over, I think it was Antarctica. And it wasn't to explore, it was for the beings of inner Earth, and told them, basically, don't bring your ass back here. And
Admiral, what was his name?
I can't remember his name. I've seen
it or something. It's close to that. It's not it, but it's close. He wrote an entire report on it, and it's part of the government record. And
a lot of it was washed out for a long time, and then of course things started getting hectic with the government, and then all of a sudden they start releasing all this UFO stuff that's happened. Oh, we know. We're just waiting for you to tell us.
Right. And everybody's just like, yeah, we know.
But besides all that, back on track with our hobby it's our full-time hobby. We like doing it, and we are pushing it. We don't ask for, we get asked a lot before we even get an investigation set up. Do we charge?
Right.
Within LaPorte County, we don't charge.
Okay.
Just because it's our home, it's where we live. But if we happen to be invited somewhere that's really awesome outside of LaPorte County, then we may charge a small fee just for travel expenses, and if we got to stay the night at a hotel or something.
Yeah, there's only so much that you personally can do financially. Everybody's resources are limited, especially now, with the economy being what it is. So I think that's a perfectly reasonable request, especially if someone is a good distance away. And the ultimate goal, I assume, is to document this and potentially give them options as to what to do about it.
Yeah, and that's like when we go into this, we make it clear that we don't do these investigations to try and clear residents or business of the activity. We don't do seances. We don't do anything to provoke them or anything along that line of seances, because one, it's not our residence where we live. It's not our business. We're strictly there to confirm. And the shortest way I like to putting it, I don't go in there and go Zach Baggins on them. I
won't let him. I won't let him. I am not Aaron.
I don't use the Zach Baggins method. And I like Zach Baggins. I like the shows.
Entertaining.
But I that's not me. I don't gotta live there.
And you know what? One thing I will say, for my viewers that may want to go check you out, which I do recommend, and again, aside from the equipment, I was extremely impressed with the way that you presented. Look, we're in a basement. There's floaters, but it's dust. It's not necessarily, orbs or whatever you might think it is. And I appreciate that. I'm a very fact and evidence based individual myself. So when you start off with, look, we're going to do the best we can, but I want to tell you, just because you see this doesn't mean it's that. Let's focus on what's provable.
Yeah.
Automatically right there, I'm like, okay, cool. Let's get into this.
Well, and when we get done doing our investigations and we get everything loaded up in the computer, we have upgraded from using 4 Android high-end phones recording stuff to a CCTV DVR system to where we have over 700 foot of audio video cable.
Oh, wow.
So we can run it anywhere. So what that helps us with is being able to have a better camera setup, and 2, we're able to timestamp everything better. Because I had to download an app on the phones to show the timestamp on the video, not just for the viewers, but for us to go back and go, okay, we heard a sound here at this timestamp. Can we line it up with something we were doing over here to see if that's what it was? And we have debunked so much stuff just in the last 2 investigations by using timestamps to line, and it takes forever. You get 4 cameras. No, it's not my favorite part. Yeah, we're only there for 5-6 hours, max 6 hours, minimum 4 to 5. But you gotta, people gotta remember that we have 4 to 5 hours on each camera, and I mean, that's,
that's a lot
20 hours. Yeah, it's a lot. A lot of it is just sitting here going like this.
Right. Yes. And that was one thing I actually mentioned that to my wife when I was watching your Hilbish investigation. I said, when I was younger, there was a period of time where I really wanted to get into paranormal investigation, but I'm terrible at waiting. Like I'd be going nuts. So I greatly appreciate the people who have the patience to sit there and strain to listen to, potential noises. And also during the Hillbillies, because I didn't get a chance yet, although I plan on, especially after watching your second investigation, to go and watch the first one,
Plainview Farmhouse.
I keep want to say Plainfield, but I know it's not Plainfield, it's Plainview.
That we were absolutely shocked at the end results of that.
Mind blown.
We had we had in-person activity happen, real time. We had why can't I think of it? Intelligent responses. We had intelligent responses to questions. Okay. I don't want to give any spoilers out, but we had objects move in front of us. We had things running at us. I mean, and it's all caught on video and audio.
Nice.
And I mean, I think we both went into it thinking we're not expecting anything. And with every investigation, we can't expect anything because it's like the lottery. You're not going to win every single time.
That makes it more authentic though too, that you're not just going in and just being like, oh yeah, by the way, we heard door creak.
Yeah, and that's why we want to try and investigate places that have never been investigated. I mean, we're not, a lot of the big places you see TV shows do or big YouTubers do, it's all been done. And they have the money to go do it. So, I mean, as fund-wise for us to actually just get up and go for a whole week in some crazy sanitarium, which would be awesome. Even if it's not for filming, I would just love to walk a old creepy hospital. It's crazy 80 vibes. I like it. But it's just, getting the real stuff and trying to document things in places that haven't been touched yet. And it's always I'm not sure places. That's what we want to do. I mean, but we also just want to kind of walk around abandoned places too. So,
that's fun just in and of itself. I always found it, especially older abandoned places, the difference in architecture, the history that's involved there, just wandering around is fulfilling. But then to experience something that's outside the realm of normal experiences is like icing on the cake, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So have you guys lived in LaPorte County your whole lives, or?
I have lived here my entire life. Born and bred here in Michigan City, Indiana.
Okay.
She moved out here.
Yeah. She's from Hobart.
From Hammond.
Oh, Hammond.
It's
the same thing.
My wife is from Munster, so she's from over there too. So yeah, she will yell at me if I get them mixed up too. So
everything that's not in Michigan City it's
right. It's all the same over there. Right.
I don't like leaving the house really. I leave house long enough to go to work and come home.
Yeah. When I was the reason I asked is because when I was I think I'm consider you're in your 30s, right?
Yes, 37.
Okay. So I'm 50. So I'm a little bit older than you. When I was, I think like around 17 or 18, there was an abandoned sanitarium in LaPorte County.
Yeah, over by the fairgrounds.
Yes.
My mom said she was terrified every time they drive by. She'd cover her face because she couldn't do it.
Wow. Yeah, we when we were kids, we snuck in there, and it was definitively one of the creepiest experiences of my life. And I wish they hadn't torn it down and that we had the opportunity to check out stuff there, because I'm convinced that there is energy there.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, those places always harness a lot.
Yeah.
So recommendation, just kind of put this on your to-do list. They are planning on tearing down Indiana State Prison, and they're moving everybody to Westville.
Yeah, I knew they were moving everybody. I didn't know they were tearing it down, though.
Well, I should rephrase. they're moving everyone to Westville. No one knows yet what the Indiana Department of Corrections is going to do with the building or the land, right? What I was going to say, though, is my wife and I both worked at Indiana State Prison. That's where we met. We were officers. And we experienced some extremely bizarre things. There have been lots of people that have met their end at Indiana State Prison, both execution and otherwise.
The chair.
And the sheer amount of fear and pain that's, in the air. We've both seen some very, very strange and not easily explainable things. So if you get the opportunity, get on that, put your name on the list.
Because the minute I heard they were moving everybody and shutting down ISP, not even like, no, it was, all right, how do I get in there first? How do I be the first one or one of the first few to actually go and not even just investigate, just walk around?
Right.
I mean, it's been there forever and it's such an old prison. And I would feel like one thing I've noticed about this city in the past, 15 years, tear it down. And I think excuse my language, but I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
You can't quit.
Just so you know, you don't have to worry about a language warning. I'm a former trucker and correctional officer. Anybody who watches my show knows what to expect. I try to clean it up, but it happens, man.
But that would be a really good place to check out, especially with it being local and how far it goes back. And it was just, it definitely would be harnessing some stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I think so.
Oh, a lot of, any place just like sanitariums and, and they all harness anger. Because, you got to think back in the 40s and 50s, 60s, even up to the 80s. Everybody that was there because they had some type of disorder, which wasn't really a disorder. It was just, it was something they didn't know about that is now known as basically ADHD in a way. And, he likes to do, he likes to do 7 things at once. So he can't be in public. So throw him in the padded room.
Right.
And so, you got a lot of energy and anger harnessed in places like that. So
for sure. The old, like the Ivy Tech campus, there were plans to build a new one somewhere else, right there on Franklin Street. That used to be, I think, Charter Hospital. Before that, it was Kingwood Hospital. These were the places that they would, put people who were, mentally ill, unfit for society, criminally insane, whatever you want to call it. And in many instances, these people had legitimate problems, and sometimes energy was, left behind, as it were. I think that would be a great location, even with the remodeling they did from, the structure itself is still there. So,
and then when you start doing remodeling, construction, anything that's changing the atmosphere of a building or place that has been there and in that shape and form for years. And if there is paranormal there, it starts to aggravate them because they don't want change. They don't want, this room used to be where I would always hang out when I was alive, per se. And now you're going to change it into a dining room or something. They change it into something that's not what the spirits are used to. So it aggravates them and it ups the ante on the activity itself.
Right. We got a comment because I want people to know. Double Crispy said, went to school with Rob, good guy. Glad to see him pursuing something that makes him happy. Also, nice beer.
Double Crispy. Thank you, brother. We went to school. Who are you? Make sure you follow over my channel so I can find out who you are.
Right. And for everybody, we've talked about your channel and the fact that you do this. What's your channel ID so people can follow it? Because it's fat. Like I get really, I have ADD. So so I get really annoyed with some of these so-called ghost hunters that stretch out that whole suspense thing and, act like something happens when it doesn't. And I understand, audience, but you guys did a phenomenal job. Really.
Thank you. That means a lot to us because the one conversation we had before we decided that we wanted to do this and actually record it to bring it to YouTube was We don't want to make our thumbnails clickbait. We don't want to put something on our thumbnails that say, something grabbed me from the dark. And then you watch the video and then nothing ever happens. And like, we're not trying to bring people in by, faking them on something. And we're new to this scene of, YouTube, and YouTube itself in general is huge. I mean, it's not that we're trying to become YouTube famous, or anything. If we can make a little revenue from it, awesome. It's extra. Everybody wants to make extra money these days. And if we can make it by I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Finish your.
If we can do something, make money from what we love doing and as a hobby, and try to maintain that aspect of it, staying a hobby, then that's what we want. That's awesome because, we both work, full-time 40+ hour a week jobs. I have a 15-year-old daughter. She's upstairs right now jamming out the God knows what. But I told her she could join down here because this is we invite her on everything we do. Yeah.
Okay.
We are very family oriented, and her reaction is nope.
I'm good.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. But as far as the channel name, for YouTube, it's Ghost OG 87. And I try to keep that the same across everything. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. I have a Facebook gaming page under the same name, but for our paranormal stuff, it's called Ghostcast The Haunt. As far as the YouTube, the reason, I don't know if anyone's wondering, maybe in the back of their mind, but the reason why it's Ghost OG 87 and it seems like it's just like centered on me, because it is. Only because this is all a new thing, and we don't really want to start a whole new channel and from the bottom again. We've already got things going, and Cheyenne was part of the whole building of my content creating 4 years ago. So she, she's been part of it, even though it was a thing. There was a hiatus of 4 years, but she was there at the very beginning of everything.
Right.
So she knows when we do this and when I upload stuff. Excuse me. We are going in. Yeah. Yeah. I just got it. I've been wanting it forever. I got it like 4 months ago. I love this thing.
Do you? Yeah, he's really, really thrilled with his. So
yeah, I want an XLR mic, like a Shure mic or something, but that means I got to get more equipment and I understand with what I have.
Yeah, you got to get a mixing board and all this other stuff, adapters and all this crap. That's what I dealt with, and it took me a while.
It's worth it.
It is. I mean, the audio quality between the two is noticeable.
And I just redid this whole room. I put sound padding up on the walls and more stuff that kind of dampen the sound. So
I wasn't home when he did that.
No, but she's not home and I start house projects. It's a bad thing.
I completely understand. What I was going to say earlier is just like me, I'm not looking to get rich off of this, but it would be really nice if it started to pay for at least a little of the equipment investment and subscriptions and, all the stuff that, you do, because being a content creator, especially a good content creator, takes a lot of time and it takes money.
Well, and especially when you don't have a team behind you for editing and audio and photo and advertising. Everything that you see on the YouTube channel and on the Facebook page, any trailers or any advertisements or logos and thumbnails, that's all, not trying to be selfish, but that's all me, because I'm the one that knows how to work all this. She just sits here and she'll watch me edit a video that not paranormal, but like some of my streaming videos. And I'm just sitting here clicking and watching, deleting, clicking. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I'm just editing and cutting it down for shorts and stuff. She goes, "I don't even know what you're clicking."
No.
Right. But everything's self-taught though. I mean, a lot of YouTube videos, tutorials, forums. If I think of something that could maybe be done, I look it up and it can be done, then I make it work. But I mean, it's all
awesome, man.
A 2-person team, and like you, I don't know how many people. I don't know if it's just you over there, but if it's just you, understand that it's not easy.
I get it. Yeah, I have. So I do have people that assist, but it's more like on the deep background, like helping to set up interviews, reaching out to people, like all the graphics, all the video, all that stuff. I had to learn how to do video editing. I'm still not good at it. I had to learn how to do graphics editing because the friend that was helping me with it, I got tired of going, "Hey man, can you do this? Hey man, can you do this?" He was nice to do it, but like as the channel grew and as I started wanting to do more stuff, like I'm bothering him on a daily basis, and I'm like, well, I gotta figure this out. So,
yeah, well, and then like I'm the same way, but then it also comes down to when I want something done, I want it done, and I know I can do it.
And I want it done right.
Yeah, and I can't always do it right. Like, so our Discord server, which Discord is video chat, share stuff and all that. My buddy Bearded Taz, Aaron, he handles all that stuff because the integrations, the APIs, and all that. I can learn it, but I haven't taken the time to learn it and have him teach me. But he is a very humble guy. I've known him for years. We've done tons of charities together. We do the Relay for Life walk at the Porte County Fairgrounds every year.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And we actually got to get together here soon to talk about our next setup because the Relay for Life 2024 is coming up very soon, and we are slacking. But
slacker, come on, man.
But yeah, he handles some of the background stuff of like just Discord and anything that has to do with integrating programs for my streams and stuff.
Sure.
And he helps mod my streams. I was a big streamer on Twitch for a long while, and then I kind of let that go because going back to work and
I hear you. Yep.
Just a lot of stuff going on, and I would love to get back to that, to Steel Mills and NW. Yes,
yeah.
I've heard about that.
Can't get in them though.
Yeah, it's
right. Yeah, trying to get permission to go there and do something is probably next to impossible.
Yeah, I mean, just like the mills over going to Chicago, there's all those hidden missile silos around there that are deactivated. But no, there are because of when
the world. About the deactivated.
Oh yeah, the deactivated part. Yeah. But
right,
Kingsbury is deactivated too, by the way,
allegedly, for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah,
no, they're, and that's why, like, I'm actually surprised that there aren't more. I think the closest I ever seen to anyone actually being involved like this in this area is when they did the thing with the Demon House in Gary. That's like, there. Oh, you've been there?
It's no longer there. It's just
right. I know they raised it to the ground. Yeah.
And Zach Baggins actually bought the house and the land.
Yeah,
he won't let anyone go on it now.
Right. Which I mean,
and see, and that's where we fall into, like with locations of finding where we can go investigate or just explore. We are trying the legal way of finding asking.
Yeah.
So finding who, so I emailed the council president of Pines.
Okay.
And to see if we granted permission for the old Pines Elementary School. That's been voted up. Haven't heard anything back yet, so I may reach out to somebody else on the board. But we would, and not saying if we don't get permission, we're just going to do it. I don't need all that trouble in my life of
legal
stuff. So
yes, I'm right there with you. And go ahead.
No, I was just saying it'd be easier for us to investigate or explore places like that to bring content without the worry of, cops coming and taking us or anything happening, people being called. And the only thing I get asked this a lot at work and from some family and friends, aren't you scared of paranormal investigating? Absolutely not. The only thing I'm scared of is someone actually being there and like physical person. Then we either got to throw hands down with a hobo or and we can't just run because we're going to have equipment set up everywhere. We can't just run. So I'm defending my territory.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, is it's not like you guys are just using a couple of phones and walking through. You have very high dollar or at least high value equipment that you're setting up and all of this. And if something does happen, you can't just gather that stuff up quickly and leave. It's a process.
It is. It takes with our new setup with the cameras we have. The second investigation took
maybe like 30 minutes to put everything away.
30 minutes to an hour with making sure the video's set up, and which we didn't even double check. We get home and 2 of our cameras were recording in 1080 by 960.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know how it changed. I'm going back, editing video. And I'm like, why isn't that 1080? Oh, it's 1920 by 960. What is that? And I was like, oh my gosh. So now I got to load the DVR up and go through all the settings and everything. But it's a process. And then we run into flaws too of audio and all that. But it's, and finding, like right now we have the equipment. Obviously everything's powered. We don't have a generator or anything. We don't see the sense in getting one right now.
Yeah.
Especially a silent one.
Right. Yeah.
But,
and the battery, basically the solar powered or the I guess the small portable battery packs essentially. Yeah.
We don't see the point in buying one right now. So right now everywhere we are trying to go is mainly places that have power. And if we go to places that don't have power, we are going to have our DV cameras, which will be just pretty much point of view, and we'll have our gadgets on us, EV, our electronic recorder, EMF reader, motion balls. But it's all a process. And if this grows to what we want, then maybe we'll have the funds to get a portable generator to provide us power, and maybe a van that's not creepy that we can base station in. Because a bearded man in a van, it does not go hand in hand.
No, it doesn't.
I don't have candy, I swear.
Yeah. You get all these looks like, no, I swear.
There's a van in front of a abandoned hospital.
Yeah, okay. Right. So do you have, I know you mentioned the elementary school. Do you have other locations in mind locally right now? Or
we've been looking, but we've also been kind of depending on the public.
Gotcha. Okay.
The first post I put up about what we were doing, I put on the Porte County News and Reviews page.
Okay.
That post went from like 1 like to like 72 to like 100 something comments within like 2 days. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so cool. People are interested in giving ideas. And so that's where I've been going back to try and find some people to reach out to. And if anybody's watching that has any ideas for LaPorte County, ghostcast87@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your ideas of where we can go. And also on the website, so I don't have money for like a ghostcastahaunt.com. It's too damn expensive. So email me and then you'll get an email or something.
Can you recite the email one more time and put it on screen?
Ghostcast87@gmail.com.
Ghostcast87@gmail.com. gmail.com. All right. I'm going to add that to the.
And then I think the website link is in my signature of our emails. But yeah, on the website, though, what we have. I just closed that out.
Oh, there we go. Okay. That's what happened. All right. Let's try this again. There we go. Make sure that's all correct.
Yeah, it looks good.
There we go. Awesome. Yeah,
Appreciate it.
For sure. Because I want to watch more content, man. You got
and with this, so I'm so used to making content right here in front of a monitor and streaming and just making our cryptid web series, which I swear everybody, I'm getting episode 7 or 8. I'm getting to it. I promise.
I promise I'll do it.
I'll keep you on track somehow.
Yeah,
maybe.
somehow.
I remember.
Is that the same YouTube channel?
Yes, the cryptid web series, anything that has to do with like video, like VODs or podcasts, it's all under the Ghost Cast playlist. So all that's in one spot. And if we do end up growing our list of paranormal web series, then we're going to make a playlist for that. But we only have 2 episodes right now. So. But like I said, on the website, you can watch the videos there. Our merch store is on there. There's also links you can click to fill out Google documents. One Google form is to inform us of a possible haunted location and if you want investigations done. And then there's also our merch on there and just a bio about us.
I should put my book on there. Lord.
Oh, yeah. Cheyenne's an author too, by the way.
Yeah, I read that. That's really awesome. So I read that you're a published author You have books on Amazon,
I
correct?
have one so far.
Okay, you know what? That's one more than I have.
I think that's one more than I have. Plenty of books in my head. They're not right to
Right.
read.
I'm right there with you. I understand. So if you don't mind, you may not see it. There's a private chat. If you could throw the website in there,
Yeah.
I'll put it up on the screen. That way I can get people to.
Yeah, the main purpose of the website is for one thing, my whole thought was make the website have a simple URL, ghostcastthehaunt.com.
Right.
And that will have everything that, Facebook, merch, ways to get a hold of us, everything in one spot. Well, since it's ghostog87.wixsite.com/thehaunt, it's kind of hard to recite that to people.
Right.
But it does have all the information to get a hold of us and everything kind of in one spot.
Okay, we'll throw that on there. Let's see here. And then what I'll do is I'll actually go that now. And yeah, normally I have all this stuff set up to go, but I had some technical issues today, so I got started a little late. So
you're good.
I do it on the fly, so it is what it is.
Last minute, I was like, "Oh, we got everything ready to go," and I'm like, "Wait a minute, the audio's not routed right. I got to get that going."
It's always something. Like at the last second, it's always some little computer glitch or something. Let's see. Gatama says, "How did the downtown above hotspot go?" Are you talking about the Hillbish? Because isn't that slightly?
That's the Hillbish.
Yes.
That was right
Okay.
next door.
Watch the episode.
Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, in short way, yes, watch the episode, but that,
as we said, we don't guarantee anything. So
Right.
You just gotta watch it.
yeah, but going into that and the walkthrough and like what we are trying to make a habit is before we just show up and talk to someone through email or Facebook and then just show up, set up and do it. We want to meet in person, do a walkthrough to get a feel for the place, and the walkthrough of the place, I felt really good about it. I felt like we were going to get some intelligent responses or something in the later of the recordings.
Mm-hmm.
We did happen to capture on an EVP of a little girl on our walkthrough, and it was a short, I think, minute 30-second EVP.
Yeah. And
we got home and we listened to it, and I about dropped my headphones because I was like, "Wait a minute."
How was that work when you did that?
Yeah, I can't wait for it because, if we could, it's catching evidence like that ourselves is exciting even more than watching someone else on YouTube, because watching on YouTube, oh, cool, they caught something. But when we noticed we caught something in our first episode, we just sat here on a couple of them and stared at each other like,
"Oh,
is that what we?" And then the movement of the objects. But with Hillbish, we were built up really well for it, and we might have started a little too early on that hunt, which I believe we did, and we still are trying to find a good time frame to start our hunts.
Okay.
But we caught some stuff. Nothing crazy. I was expecting more just because of the buildup. And I think after that, that's what we had to also look out for, is building ourselves up. Just because, it happened with the owner or whoever lives in the residence or runs the business, just because it happened to them does not guarantee it's going to happen to us.
Right. And I think that's what we were expecting was, okay, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It should happen.
And I think towards the end, we wanted to call it one because I felt like I was starting to try and stretch on, oh, was that something? And when I started to feel that, I felt like it was kind of time to start wrapping it up, because I was wanting something to happen and I didn't want to produce it out of my own mind.
Yeah, which is completely possible. I mean, because when you're in that situation, you're straining, you're wanting something to happen. So in many cases, you can be certain you heard something, and there's nothing there, or maybe you did hear something, but it wasn't what you thought, but you assume it's this. So I will say, and again, maybe I sound like a broken record, but I greatly appreciate that you seem grounded enough, because a lot of the paranormal investigation type people quite easily and quickly believe that everything, like the ancient aliens guy, oh, he got a haircut, it must be aliens,
Oh, the pyramid of Vegas, aliens.
Right, exactly. So I greatly appreciate the fact that you were grounded enough to explain that, hey, there's dust in the air. That's probably what that is. It could possibly be electromagnetic interference from my smartwatch, even though, nothing's happening here. But I'm just saying I personally greatly appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. That makes us feel, at least it makes me feel good, because I think we're trying to take some stuff from the web series we watched on YouTube and the shows we watched on actual TV of what we noticed. And we're not professionals at this by no means.
No.
Yeah. But I just think there's things I see where, well, what if it could have been interference from that or something? So we want to cover all our bases as much as we can. And if anybody has more information on what we're doing and that can help us, we are open ears to listen. I mean, we don't think we know everything.
We don't know everything.
No, and for someone that thinks they know everything doesn't know anything. And it's just, we're open ears. If you guys got information for us, you can talk to us on our, through email or, our Discord. I don't have our Discord anywhere, which I should put it up somewhere at some point.
Yeah, maybe throw it up on the website or something so people can. I've met people who that's their way to communicate.
It's easier than giving out your email or phone number or something. Right. But yeah, it's just.
And it's grown a lot from what it used to be. Discord has tons of tools now. I mean, you can stream on it.
Well, since stuff. I think Microsoft bought it just recently, about a year ago. They own everything. It's better than Facebook owning it.
Facts.
You can't play Mary Had a Little Lamb on live stream on Facebook without getting copyright.
Right. Oh my, it's ridiculous. I can't even share YouTube videos from, even under fair use law without getting, they're copyright strike.
Yeah.
Really?
And I don't know what I know about 2 years ago, they put a thing in where every viewer of your live stream on Facebook could only share a maximum of 10 shares of your live stream, but they wouldn't cut you off. They would just let you keep sharing, but it would counter hit your Facebook page.
Interesting.
For spam. And it's like, well, your Facebook, your social media, you want people to grow on social media on your platform, but I can't grow because you don't want me to.
Well, it's one reason why I have tried very, very hard to expand to other platforms. Rumble, for example. Rumble's not perfect. It has.
What's Rumble? I've heard about Rumble, but I've not looked into it.
It is a YouTube alternative. They are far more open to free speech, basically. You can talk about what you want with exceptions for, like you can't call for violence or normal. As long as you're not a raving lunatic in general, Rumble allows you to say what you want. That was my big thing, because especially, post COVID, you can't even say the V word without people spending, the algorithm spending a bunch of time combing your stuff and then picking out things that aren't even relevant. And, oh, no, that's unacceptable. YouTube just came up with so many ridiculous rules and all of this. I would recommend looking into Rumble, especially there's been a mass exodus lately of creators leaving YouTube.
Oh, it's growing, but even from Twitch, it's just growing.
Twitch is one of the alternatives they're going to. One of the others is Rumble. Like I said, it's essentially a YouTube alternative, and I like it. The only thing that I personally so far don't like about Rumble is I don't have the opportunity when I stream to Rumble using the software that I use. It doesn't allow me to do live commenting like it does with Facebook, YouTube, and X.
Okay.
So let's see. Liz wants to know, have you ever worked with the other paranormal groups in Northwest Indiana?
Elizabeth, we haven't really touched base with any other paranormal groups, to tell you the truth. It's not that we don't
know, like, I don't know of any other ones in Northwest Indiana. That's why I was so excited when I saw your post. I was like, whoa.
That was my next go-to. I don't know if they're... Neither have I. I know there was that one, which I don't even know if they were paranormal investigators. They had the Ghostbuster emblem on their car and all that stuff. So I'm not sure.
No.
But
wait. It says Griffith Paranormal.
Griffith, never heard of them.
Okay. Maybe something to look into.
Griffith. No, I don't know.
Yeah, is that Griffith? Are they from Griffith, Indiana? And
yeah, that's like right down the street from Hammond.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Well, I know Griffith is. I'm talking like the name of the paranormal. Well, they could be like a Harry Potter fan, Gryffindor. I don't know.
Spelled right.
Hey, I get it, man. Some people come up with these names, and it's like, where did you come up with that? Oh, I saw an episode of Friends once where, what? Okay. I thought you lived there.
Obsessed with Friends.
Oh my God, my wife too, dude. She watches it like all the time. Like, you've seen every episode like 300 times. I like the background noise.
I have the box set. We're binging it now on HBO Max too.
Yeah, she's stuck on it.
Yeah, we got the. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so it's called Northwest Indiana Paranormal.
No, let's.
I have no
Might be
idea.
something to look into.
Yeah, I've never heard. And it's not that we don't want to work with other paranormal groups.
Yeah, you guys are open to collab, right?
Yeah, we're open, but right now, like, we have gotten tons of friends asking us to join us on investigations, which is great and cool and all. But we're new to this, and we don't really want to bring anybody along with yet. We don't want to collab with anybody yet, because right now, for, like, say, Northwest Indiana Paranormal, it may be their main thing. It may be what, they do every weekend, and they work jobs, to fund that, just to, who knows? But we do it as a hobby, and we don't want to mix our hobby with someone's business, because,
right.
So we're doing it for fun.
Right. And you guys, you might be at two different skill levels. You might be at two different interest levels. You never know, but there's nothing wrong with like starting a conversation. But I do understand not wanting to jump into like bringing randos, even friends with you to something like this, because it's a very controlled environment. It has to be in order to be able to document anything.
Yeah. And like when we go into it, we do a walkthrough ourselves once we get done setting up, and we'll figure out, where we want to start at, where we want to continue at later in the night, or where we think, the witching hour is 3 a.m. So, if we can ever set up a hunt to where we actually last till 3 a.m. I'm 37 years old,
right?
She's 27, and I get tired by 9. I am done. And I've got her stuck on that same sleep schedule now, but I'm done.
Right.
So our first investigation, which was actually a buddy of mine that reached out, it was his grandparents' house. And so, I was like, all right. And then we get there, we set up, and I'm like, okay, we need caffeine, and we need, because it is 9:10 and I'm ready for bed.
Yep.
But I understand. Yeah. Especially when you work, full time for a living, you get on that schedule, and, it's 9-10 o'clock rolls around. You're like, okay, what, huh?
Yeah. and I'm all down for the early sleep schedule. And on the weekends, like tonight, our plan is to play a little bit of a zombie game after we're done doing this. But in back of my mind, my body's going to... I've been working in the yard, the basement, since 7?
No, like 8.
No,
I
was up since 7, but I started working on the basement about 8.
There you go.
But I didn't get done till like 3:30, but the yard's done. I got a new lawnmower blade, and but yeah, we would love. Yeah, it got done. It had
There you go.
2 weeks no cutting in the rain. It had to get cut. Ugh. But we would love to work with other paranormal groups down the line. Talking with them, emails or just, Discord or just meeting up and discussing, thoughts and stuff on certain opinions. Yeah, I mean, that'd be fine. But as far as a legit investigation with another group, we like the solo group that we do. It's very controlled. It's easier to try and I have a lot of footage to go through. I don't want to add any more cameras. When it comes down to it, that's it. No, you're good. Go ahead.
Absolutely. That, and a lot of people don't think about how much space all these videos take. So yeah, there's a lot of time wise, but there's also a lot of space. So you really got to kind of go through them. You can't just leave it. You got to go through them so you can get rid of the stuff you don't need, so you can make room.
Well, and that's where my buddy Taz comes in really handy, which I haven't done it yet. I need to. He has it's off the grid, but obviously it's connected to the grid, but off the grid of 80 terabytes of space.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So I have my own section of.
You got your own server set up.
It's his own server cloud.
Yeah.
And he just got done building it, and he's like, here's your link, here's your password. Upload all your stuff to it, and I keep forgetting to do it. But so we have the space now, which is great, and I have the right PC to do everything that we do, and it's just we enjoy what we're doing. We just hope that it's going to come down to where we're going to have to start reaching out and just doing more research to find places instead of doing research after we find a place.
Right. I understand. And again, I'll make an announcement. Anybody watching, if you, especially Northwest Indiana area, if you know of someplace and have personal contact or knowledge of the owner and can put them in touch, absolutely you should do so, because I watched. I haven't seen the first one. The first one sounds like it was a lot more evidentiary wise. But I will tell you, the second one, there were some definitive things, and I appreciate the fact that you're upfront. This is what I think it was, but analysis wise, here we go. It might just be dust in the air. A lot of people underestimate the value of that. But adding that to it lends credibility, because you're not saying every single bump in the night is a ghost or ghoul. Yeah. It's exactly. Just sometimes noises happen.
And when you watch our first episode, you'll wonder if all the bumps in the night are
ghosts and ghouls.
Yeah.
Right. I hear you. I'm actually really excited to go watch it now. So I put the contact information up there, but is there anything else that I guess you could tell people what specifically you're looking for as far as, I know you're looking for contact with owner/controller of it so that you can obtain permission to go on there, but are there any other parameters really?
Legal?
Yeah. Legal, yeah, but I think as far as legal, as long as it's an owned residence, even if it's not lived in, the first investigation, it wasn't lived in anymore, but it was still owned by the family.
Right.
What we are working on, it's not going to be a legitimate, I guess not permission slip, but a waiver, I guess.
Okay, like a damage waiver, personal liability waiver type.
Yeah, something like that. One, to cover all that. Two, to cover, we'll have a copy. We'll each have a copy. The owner of the place where we'll be at will have a copy, and then there'll be a digital copy. And mainly, so we all know what's going on, what's going to happen, and also if the cops end up showing up, we have a waiver, and the waiver will have the owner's contact information on it. That way, all our bases are covered,
and nothing gets mixed up.
Yeah, exactly. We want everyone to be on the same page, and just it won't be notarized. It won't be, because we don't see taking this as an LLC, because we don't, we're not running it as a business. Payment wise, we will take donations. We have a Cash App set up for that. Yeah. If no one if no one wants to donate, that's completely fine. But as far as payments, like, oh, how much you charge to come investigate for 5 hours? One, that's kind of hard to say, because are you wanting us to pay? Are you wanting to pay us based off what we find, or are you wanting to pay us based off our time and what we're doing?
And if we don't find anything, then what was the point?
Yeah, and there's no refund. Like, oh, you didn't find at least 2 ghosts.
Right.
We want a refund.
Yeah.
It's not a video game, man. Like,
right. Yeah. You didn't fill the journal with these particular,
we're not playing
entities, so you don't get paid.
But as far as other parameters, I guess, like Chey said, legal,
actual serious inquiries.
Yeah, and we have a feeling if this does take off, we may get some of those inquiries where, oh, ha ha ha, it's funny because it's a Google form. You can fill out whatever you want on there, and then I end up getting the email, and I'm like, oh, okay, you're just pulling my strings like I'm a puppet. But
because there are people with far more time than sense out there, and love to pull people's strings or go through ridiculous motions. So vetting is important, and you guys, again, one of the reasons I reached out is because Northwest Indiana, I think, is a prime region. This area has been around for a long time.
It has.
Obviously, it's been even going back before so-called settlers, the Native Americans had a lot. There was a lot up here, So I think it's right.
There is, yes, and that's our plan. That's we're just hoping the public will assist us in finding locations, and all I got to say is it's a hobby, and if we were really striving as a business to make it a productive business, we would, be doing a lot more self-advertisement. But
right. I got to run the standard disclaimers.
You're good.
Yeah. I've had people that, well, I would come on, but, people might think that, I'm as crazy right wing as you are. And we, whatever, man. I don't, people can think what they want. They can be who they want. I personally am a huge advocate of free speech. I think the more someone talks, the more you learn who they really are. So that's why I'm, by all means, talk. Let us know who you are. In some cases, that's phenomenal. In other cases, okay, I know to avoid you. So
I know a couple of people like that. I give them a candy bar at work, so when the day happens, they're like, "You gave me a Snickers."
Right? Yeah. When it comes to it, and they show up at work, on non-work hours or after they've been fired, it's like, okay, remember I hooked you up, man. Remember,
I gave you travel size bag of Reese's.
I brought you now and layers. Come on. But hey, it's phenomenal that you're doing this, and I can't stress enough how impressed I was with not only the equipment, but that's equipment. You can buy equipment, but the quality, I guess, of the investigation and the quality of the information presented, I greatly appreciated it, and I think most people do.
I hope they do, and we appreciate you that you appreciate all that. That's a huge thing, and that's what we're going for, is to get that exact response of it doesn't look like you really forced it. Like if it ain't nothing there ain't nothing there. I don't know what to tell you. I don't.
Right? Absolutely, and you see that so often with, especially again, I appreciate the no clickbait, the actual content, etc. Because so often anymore on any, not just YouTube, but any of these streaming platforms or just platforms in general, clickbait is the name of the name of the game. You need that engagement farming. So these people make these wild claims, and the little trailer that looks like crazy stuff happens, and then it turns out somebody knocked over a camera or whatever, something dumb that has nothing to do with what was going on or what was presented, and it's like, well, that was 2 hours I just wasted of my life.
There's one YouTuber where one of his latest videos was a witch stalked me in the cemetery, and I was like, oh, Probably not, but I'm gonna watch anyway. Oh,
Yeah.
there was no witch there, but
Right.
your video already had 500,000 views in 12 hours, though.
Bingo.
So you know,
Yep.
and I still haven't figured out the algorithm for YouTube of when it starts counting a person as a viewer. I know on Facebook it's a minute and 30 seconds, then they're counted as a viewer, but I haven't figured out what it is on YouTube yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff on YouTube and other platforms, but YouTube especially makes that stuff as
they make it transparent so you know what's going on.
Yeah,
which I really love.
I wish they would. I wish they would make at least the channel owner know, okay, you know, what exact parameters do I need for this? Like you said, how long till they're counted as a viewer? What's considered a unique viewer? What's considered, a push by the algorithm for subscription? How many videos have they watched without subscribing? These would all be really good, tracking and learning.
Yeah, I know on I have the YouTube Studio app on my phone, and it shows me how many viewers that watched a certain video. It shows percentage not subscribed and percentage subscribed.
Yes,
and I like that, and so I can go on that, and like every now and then I try to make a follow-up short, like, hey, I know like 75% of you aren't subscribed, and you're watching all my videos. Just hit the button,
right? Please, come on. Yeah, and unfortunately, like I try to avoid that, but maybe I shouldn't, because you almost have to anymore, because it's so easy to watch content that you enjoy and just not even think about subscribing, or think about it at a certain point in the video, like when you're reminded, hey, hit that subscribe button, please, it helps me out. And then you're like, yeah, I will when I get done, and then not. So, I understand it from both points of view, but this was really cool, man. I appreciate y'all taking the time to kind of talk about what you do and where your inspiration was. I know a lot of this information is on the website, but I guess
we appreciate you having us, because it was kind of cool. It's kind of cool that I'm not the one hosting the stream this time, talking to someone. So it's like I get to sit here and do this.
Yeah, and just talk.
Nothing else. Just sit here, which is really nice, because I see you over there kind of like looking around and clicking and moving stuff, which is what I do too when I'm doing stuff like this. So it's nice to sit back and just get asked questions about what we're doing, because it seems someone's taking us serious on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing too. I try to learn a little, but I don't want to know everything, because I try to. My personal approach, I try to present the barely informed view, right? I'm aware of you. I watched a trailer or maybe part of a video, because most of the viewers that are going to be interested in this are likely, okay, is it worth watching? Okay, it's worth watching. And then, but I don't want to spoil anything either.
Yeah.
Because that defeats the entire purpose, in my opinion, So I thought it went really well. Y'all did phenomenally. So when and if you guys get more locations and investigations, maybe we could have you back on to kind of update everybody and talk about how you've grown. Because I'm looking.
Yeah, definitely. And the best thing I can say for anyone that is watching, that if you've subscribed to the channels while watching this, or you subscribe later, the best thing I can say, and for Dion's channel, if you subscribe, make sure you turn the notifications on, because when
they did that with YouTube, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I liked it before, where when you subscribed, everything was on. You couldn't turn them off. If you want to turn it off, uninstall the app. So just make sure you got the notifications turned on, because guess what? We can see that you don't have, not you specifically, but we can see how many people don't have them turned on. So just turn them on so you get notified every time a video is uploaded. And that way, I got people at work asking, hey, did you upload episode 2 yet? Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. If you had your notifications on, you know that.
Yeah, right. So that's just the best thing I can say is, we can't inform each person, so subscribe.
I will say this. I have a buddy who really helps me out on the back end. He's the one that I mentioned. I was like, you're starting a podcast. he started a mailing list with like subscribers. And you know, if you guys can get that going, because especially for your particular genre, I should say, a lot of times things happen in the background. Like, for example, you're contacting this place and you guys are communicating, but you haven't been able to make a video yet because you're still setting up times. As a subscriber to your channel, that is information that I would appreciate so that I can, keep an eye out for when this is hitting.
Yeah.
Or keep up to date with like how your channel is doing, what you're working on. I find this stuff fascinating.
Yeah. I've even looked into text alert list to where you can do a mass text, which I thought that would work a lot better because we all have emails.
True.
But 99% of us don't check our emails. Let's be honest. I know 100% of iPhone users, they look at their iPhone, they're like, I have 5,000 unread emails. Yeah, you don't read anything, do you, Charlotte? I know you don't. I know.
Yeah.
So I feel like text messages would work great because, everyone is on their phone constantly. I just got on my daughter about that. Like, you hung out with your group of friends today, but you're all on your phones and your phone's almost dead. Well, I wasn't really on it. If you weren't really on it, your phone wouldn't really be dead.
Yeah. If you weren't really on it, then you'd have plenty of battery left.
Yeah.
You must have been doing something.
But the way technology is going and stuff, there's always a way to reach people. But the best thing to do, you can't shove anything down someone's throat unless you're in a hostel and you're in a basement. But sorry,
for the next one of these, we might have to do a Rumble exclusive because we're getting into strike territory. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, but no, you can't shove anything down someone's throat. To follow, listen, watch, and come over to every live stream or every post. And as a content creator, I know how that feels because it's like you put a lot of time into what you're doing right now and what you have streaming live. And then, the outcome isn't always going to be superb, but also you want some type of outcome. And it's just like, people don't understand how much work I put into this and all just for like, there's nights where I'm like, oh, I did all this for 5 hours streaming for one viewer. Oh, that was me. And it's aggravating.
Yeah.
I have a lot of audio and video stuff I set up to try and make everything sure it runs good, on-screen graphics and everything. So, it's can't do everything for everybody.
I understand. And I think that there's like a slight, I guess misunderstanding is the best way to do it because you do get these individuals who produce garbage content, and I'm talking like pure garbage, and then they want to whine and complain about how much work it is when they're making tons of money off of it. And then you have people who actually put in the effort, make quality content, and then don't see. And I'm not even talking about financial rewards. I mean, some sort of recognition from your viewers that, hey, what you're doing matters to me. I appreciate this.
And
that goes so far.
It does. That goes really far. Everything I had to say about that happened to me with viewers 4 years ago with my streaming career, but that's for like a whole other episode. But I completely understand. It's not always the financial side. It's just nice to see that chat going. It's nice to see people reaching out, and all together, it's the engagement that pays a lot more sometimes than the financial payout. Mm-hmm. But the financial payout's nice too, guys. So make sure you like and subscribe to everything.
And visit our Patreon.
I've thought about that.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. We actually recently did do a Patreon, Dion's Daily Dose. Check it out. But I was like very about Patreon, but there are a couple of content creators that I really enjoy, and they still do stuff to YouTube, but they were honest. They're like, I don't make anything from YouTube at all. And my buddy convinced me to start a Patreon. And so if you enjoy the content, if you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee, if you whatever, here you go. Here's the link. And they make a decent amount from it. And I'm like, really? So, I mean, it certainly can't hurt. It's something to consider. And in many cases, it allows people to make I believe, I know there's like subscription levels, but I think you can make like single donations via it.
Yeah.
Kind of like Cash App. So if somebody decides, you know what, that was banger, man, I want another one just like that, here you go, get another camera or whatever. It happens. And there are legitimately people out there with more money than they know what to do with.
Oh, yeah.
And they, want to support like content creators that they enjoy. So,
yeah. I just got a notification about YouTube about a month ago. You can now upload videos to where, I don't know if you got to be at the 1,000 subscriber mark, but you can upload them and only have them viewable to your subscribers as an exclusive for a certain time length. And then at the end of that time frame you set, it goes live to everybody. And so that, in my head, thought of a good plan for when I hit the 1,000 subscriber mark to give, the subscribers a sneak peek at the newest episode dropping or something. And then it goes to the public, a day later. So
one of the things, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you're fine.
One of the things that like always, so especially like with Patreon, but other aspects of that, I've always been very, very leery of paywall content. I don't like the idea of it. What I do, and knowledge should be free, but I see no reason to not have, like you said, time gated access. For example, 24 hours early, whatever, a week, whatever your particular deal is, but your subscribers, the people, especially the people that financially support you, I see no reason that they can't get it first.
Yeah, all the way. And I mean, and it should be that way if you're able to do that. But like YouTube, they put such a stipulation to make, which I like they do, because if you want to make money on our platform, then you got to work for it. You can't just upload 2 videos, get 100,000 views on each one, and then you're making money. No, you want the money, then you got to make a work for it. So I completely, I understand it, and I'm not mad about it at all. But it takes forever to get there because it's YouTube and it's a lot of people.
YouTube. Right. And unfortunately, they constantly change the way that, people get paid, and, et cetera, et cetera. My biggest issue with YouTube is the gatekeeping of the First Amendment. Nope, you can't say this.
Yeah.
Nope, you can't say that. And then they arbitrarily change the rules about what words you can use. And just let me say what I want. If people like it, they can watch it. If they don't, they won't. It's that simple. But
unfortunately, I don't think any of that's going to change. Just because.
I can give them suggestions for their multi-billion-dollar company all I want, but
I know
the likelihood they're going to take it.
It wasn't their idea, so
right. Obviously they must kind of know something, but
they know what they're doing, and they know
money. But I greatly appreciate you guys taking the time. I really could sit here and talk for hours. But,
I know that's on my mind. I'm just stuck on talking now.
right. But I definitely would love to communicate with you and set up another interview about another subject, because I'm very interested in your stream and how you grew and all of that. Because I'm obviously into that stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, dear viewers, seriously, check these guys out. Ghost OG87 on YouTube. I watched the Hillbish one. I am definitely watching the first episode of this particular I get playlist. What would you call it? Focus?
It's let me see. I'm on my studio right now. I think it's under the playlist Ghostcast.
Okay.
Playlist. Let's see. Yeah, it's under podcast Ghostcast, which I thought there was a bug on me. That was my cord. Which I'm gonna rename that straight to Ghostcast, actually, because it's podcast Ghostcast, and that's confusing. So it's just Ghostcast playlist, right? And that's got the first 2 episodes of The Haunt, and then also it's got 6 or 7 episodes of my web series Cryptids of Indiana. So
nice. Yeah, I want to check that out too.
Yeah, number 8 or maybe 7. I don't know what episode I'm on, but it's coming. I promise. I've been really slacking on it.
She knows. Look at her. She's like 7.
Yeah.
No hesitation. No guessing.
No, I just know.
She keeps an eye on it. Oh,
I try to keep him focused.
Yes, episode 7. She's right.
Yeah.
The newest episode. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's what it takes. When you're with somebody with ADD or ADHD, provide that focus and just keep them pointed in the right direction. And it's amazing what they accomplish. But keeping them on task is a heck of a thing.
Well, I'll accomplish and stay on task. It's just 7 of the projects,
right?
And then 4 get done.
Right. I completely understand. Like most of my family has some aspect of ADD or ADHD, so I completely understand. But y'all have been phenomenal, seriously, and I cannot recommend your channel enough. Go watch their stuff. So, just out of curiosity, would you recommend people to start with episode 1 of the like the Ghost Cast, or
if you're talking about like the cryptids and the Ghost Cast, it doesn't really matter as far as the Ghost Cast. 2 or 1, there's no story going here.
You just got to remember that it might not happen to us, but it happened to other people.
Yeah, and that's what we want to try and get on film too next time is more consent from the owners to have them on camera to record their encounters or anyone that was part of that, to give it more of that authentic feel. But it's just there's no particular way to watch it. I'm learning more about YouTube, how I can put the play cards towards the end of the screen, so that's helping out a lot. I learned that, and I was like, game changer. So
yeah, the end cards are a big deal. I messed with them for a little while, but one of the things that personally, as a viewer, really is seriously annoying is when creators put cards at something I'm trying to see. Yeah. At the end, the card covers up, at the end of the video for a certain amount of time, you can have the cards come up, and I'm watching that spot, and there's a stupid card in the way, and I can't see what's happening, and you can't get rid of them as a viewer, so just kind of be aware of that.
Yeah, I paid attention to the overlays of that too, to try and use the smaller cards, and like all my videos, pretty much all of them have the same outro. So by the time I get done talking,
there you go.
The cards are up and the outro's there, so there's nothing else to see.
Yeah, and that perfect, absolutely perfect. But when they put it where stuff's still happening,
like check out our merch, I can't.
Right? I can't see anything. But again, I keep trying to stop, and I can't because it's just awesome. But
I can talk all night. Ask her.
Right?
It's annoying.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been a pleasure. I can't recommend you enough. Definitely be communicating beyond this interview.
Yes, definitely. I
want to learn much more. So thank you very much. I'm going to run your thing one more time, and we will talk soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Rob and Chey from Ghostcast, and I said it during the show, and I mean it. It's probably one of the best, most factual paranormal investigation that I've seen, because of the explanations involved, because of the quality there. I recommend it. Now, that doesn't mean go watch them instead of me. Come on now. But it does mean I recommend checking them out. We got a lot of stuff coming up for the show. Let's see here. Monday, we have Spencer England because we had to reschedule his interview. He is candidate for Senate District 8, and he, I think, is the last candidate pre-primary that we're going to feature. We're going to focus on other cooler stuff. Specifically, we got a father-daughter weightlifting team, which is just awesome. Some of you may know him, some of you may not. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna show it on the announcement because it's just awesome, and you don't see that. You don't see that every day, especially nowadays. But a lot of stuff coming up. Keep track of us on X, formerly Twitter. Everything's at Dion's Daily Dose. At Dion's Daily Dose. YouTube, X, Rumble, Facebook, all of that. There are other platforms in the works. It's going to be really cool, but I'm going to leave you in suspense a little bit. But feel free to kind of look around and do some searching. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. I truly appreciate you spending your time with me. And without further ado, God bless you. God bless Indiana. God bless the United States of America. Good night.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Sean Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2024. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.